I used to think love was enough. I thought we had it all. A connection that no one could break, a love that was unshakable. But that was before this moment. The moment when he asked for one last kiss before leaving. And I told him, "Stop being needy. We're not teens anymore." Then I turned and walked away. That kiss, that small, simple gesture, could have saved us, but I couldn't see it. My name is Olivia, and this is the story of how I destroyed everything, all because I thought I was too important for something as simple as a kiss. Before you dive into this heart-wrenching tale, take a second to subscribe. You won't want to miss more stories like this, filled with raw emotion, personal growth, and powerful lessons. Hit that subscribe button now. We met when we were just starting out, young and eager to take on the world. I was 22, fresh from college, and he was the one I thought would be my forever. Zach. Strong, steady, reliable. He was everything I wasn't. He was calm, where I was ambitious. He was patient, where I was impatient. And for the first few years, that balance worked. But time changed us. It wasn't a sudden shift. It was a slow fade. At first, I didn't notice. I was so consumed by my career, my dream job, the promotions, the late-night projects, that I forgot about us. I told myself it was for the future, for us, but all I did was push him further away. Zach didn't ask for much. He didn't demand my attention. He didn't expect grand gestures. He just wanted the little things. A conversation over dinner, a kiss before work. But I couldn't give him that anymore. I was busy. I was too busy. But that morning, it was different. That morning he needed something. Something small, something simple. But I was too far gone, too wrapped up in my own world. It was a typical morning. I woke up before my alarm, grabbed my phone, and immediately started checking emails. I heard him in the kitchen, making breakfast, eggs, avocado toast, the whole thing. The smell filled the air, but I didn't care. I was already thinking about the meeting I had in an hour, my career, my goals. "Thought we could use a few minutes together," Zach said quietly, sliding a plate toward me. I glanced at the clock. 9 a.m. presentation. "I've got a meeting at 9 o'clock, Zach. I don't have time for whatever this is." I grabbed my coffee mug, my mind already drifting toward the work ahead. But then he spoke again, and something in his voice made me pause. "Olivia, can we talk for a minute?" I sighed, irritated. "About what?" "I've been trying to talk to you for days, but you're always so busy," he said, his voice cracking with exhaustion. I barely even looked at him as I snapped. "I'm trying to get to a meeting, Zach. Can it wait until tonight?" He didn't respond, just stared at me for a long moment. I could see the hurt in his eyes, but I didn't care. Not today. Not when I had so much on my plate. I grabbed my things and headed to my office. I could feel his eyes on me, but I ignored him. I didn't want to deal with it. But then, just before I reached the door, he spoke again. "Olivia, can I get a hug before I go?" I turned, genuinely confused. A hug? Seriously? I couldn't even process what he was asking. A hug? When I was running late for my meeting? When I was on the edge of something big? "You're not a kid, Zach," I snapped, my voice sharper than I intended. "Grow up." I grabbed my bag, slung it over my shoulder, and walked out of the door, slamming it behind me. I didn't look back. I couldn't. At work, I texted my colleague, Andrew, one-handed while I walked to the conference room. "You won't believe what just happened. Zach asked for a hug this morning like a freaking kid. I don't have time for that." Andrew replied almost instantly. "Yikes! Sounds like a man-child. Want me to review your slides one more time before the meeting?" I smiled, feeling validated. This was what understanding looked like. This was what I needed. Not him. Not Zach. I needed to rise. I needed to prove that I could be the one who made it. The meeting was a success. I nailed the presentation. But as I stood there, basking in the glory of my achievement, I couldn't shake the image of Zach's face, standing at the door, asking for a simple hug. The days that followed blurred together. I barely saw him. He left for work early and came home late, and when we did speak, it was mostly about mundane things. Bills, groceries, who needed to take out the trash. Our marriage was on autopilot, and I didn't care enough to fix it. But something was changing, and I didn't even see it. The quiet distance between us was becoming a chasm, and I was too busy to notice. One evening, my sister Camille showed up unexpectedly. It was a Saturday, and Zach wasn't home. "Where's Zach?" she asked as she greeted me. "At his mom's," I replied. "He's been there every weekend lately. She's been sick. You know how it is." Camille raised an eyebrow. "Is she really sick, though? Or is it just his way of checking out?" I stared at her, confused. "What do you mean?" "He's been keeping a lot from you, Olivia," Camille said softly. "And you've been keeping a lot from him." That hit me like a ton of bricks. Was I that blind? A week passed, and I didn't see much of Zach. When I finally spoke to him, I found out about his mother's cancer diagnosis. Stage 3, 6 weeks ago, and I'd never even asked. It wasn't just that I hadn't been present. I'd been dismissive, cruel. I'd treated him like an inconvenience, and now he was paying the price. So, here I am, standing in front of you, telling you this story. A story about a simple hug that could have been the bridge between two broken hearts. But instead, I tore it down. This is a wake-up call for all of us. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you've destroyed everything with your own hands. Life is too short to ignore the ones you love. If you've been neglecting someone, if you've been too busy to care, don't make the same mistake I did. Reach out, show kindness, and if you've learned something from my story, don't forget to subscribe. Because sometimes, all it takes is one small gesture, a simple kiss, a hug, a word of kindness. Don't wait until it's gone. You may never get the chance to fix it again. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of love, loss, and the lessons we learn along the way.